Hello. It's Thursday, July 14th, 2026. We're in the middle of a month that's probably one of the most transformative months of our lifetimes. And it's a new moon in Cancer during Cancer season. And I just want to touch base with everybody because I'm going through the transformation stuff too. I'm looking at a lot of how my lineage has affected and influenced my mother and myself and my family and where we're at today in order to hopefully prevent some of the issues that we've had to deal with. And I wanted to make a quick little note about how to work with the current energy. I have links on my Substack that explain the magnitude of what's happening right now in more depth if you want to go into it. But for today and the rest of this week, we are really I know with new moons, typically it's setting intention time, but a lot of times setting intentions has something to do with the external world, what we want to gain from or extrapolate from the world to get something for ourselves. But now, especially with Mercury Retrograde and all the other things happening, it's actually more important to set intentions within. Setting a base. We need to know what our foundation is at our core. That not other people, not something outside of ourselves. What makes you reset? What brings your nervous system into homeostasis? Sometimes your moon sign can help you figure that out too if you aren't sure how to answer that. I'm a Taurus moon. Taurus moon really needs the feeling of comfort and stability. And I find that in like tactile things. I like fuzzy blankets or comfort foods, things like that. If I'm around someone, it has to be a stabilizing person or my nervous system's wonky. But what can bring you home to yourself? What does home to yourself mean to you? Pisces moon, I could say it's really important for them to have a creative outlet that is not for anyone but themselves. How do they express themselves? Whether it's a musical instrument or writing, drawing, a creative outlet is really important for Pisces to regulate themselves and avoid escapism tendencies that can even lead to addictive tendencies. And Cancer moons, it's important for them to do things for themselves in their home, especially like make a dish solely for themselves, not for other people, but cook for the sake of cooking and what that brings to your nervous system and your mental health. Make it just for you and sit like it's a ritual and really enjoy and savor every bite. That's something that's important. So those are just examples. Everybody's different, and all the moon signs are different, and there's a lot of different aspects. There's a really great article, and I can share it. I'll try to find it and put in a link, but it's on Substack, and she goes into great detail on how each moon sign can come home to themselves, what they need, and it includes colors, some flavors, different things like that really can help soothe your spirit, especially when you're going through difficulties. So anything that's coming up right now for you is something for you to release. If there's an old story or an old narrative or something, you're being forced to look at it so that you can get what you are meant to learn from that because it's coming back and release it. What pattern in your life brings this situation up again, or this person, or maybe it's outside of you and you are being called to respond to it in a different way. So whatever we're facing now is so that we can release it by the time this Mercury retrograde is over. But this week is especially important to know yourself, know thyself, know thy foundation. You don't need to know exactly where you're going yet or how you're going to get there. But it is important for you to find that center within yourself. Find what stabilizes you. What is your personal foundation? What gives you the strength to stand in the mightiest of storms? What is that for you? No one can answer it for you. No one can do it for you. It's a very empowering way to proceed when it's going to be time to take the next step. So pause, reflect, notice things, notice what you're noticing. I think that it's also important, whatever you notice, to not ask other people what they think it means. I think it's important for you to see what it means for you. What does it mean to your family lineage? Ask those questions of yourself. If a dream is very prominent, yeah, I will do a web search to kind of get a sense of it and see what resonates and what doesn't, but only you ultimately can say what your dream means, right? What were you feeling when you experienced certain things within the dream? Same with life. If an animal keeps showing up to you, what are the qualities of that animal that stand out to you? And what do you think specifically your subconscious or unconscious or higher self is trying to communicate with you through you recognizing something in that animal, right? Feathers. What are the colors? Does it feel like someone on the other side is giving you support? Or does it feel like something more, like you're being warned of something in the future? There's an intuition within us all, including myself, that we second guess, that we doubt, because we fear our own strength. We have been told that we're not powerful. We have had our power stripped from us in many ways, and it continues to happen. And the only way to get that back is to first find that within us. But we have to build the foundation first. What is going to hold up whatever inner home we're going to build for ourselves, because it's all being stripped away right now. We are renovating, we are evolving, we are reimagining who we are, who we want to become, and what the future holds. The future is a big possibility right now, more than ever. And I just want to encourage you this week, instead of planning or setting intentions outside of yourself and what you're going to do, find that being within you. Because when times get tougher, when you got to really push yourself, finding that homeostasis, finding that beingness that's within you, that center point, still point, they call it, in healing medicine too. If you can find that still point, it might even be a word, an affirmation. Like, everybody's different. Gemini moons, they need to journal more, right? Words are important to them. Libra might need to find a new beauty routine or do some really important self-care ritual that makes them feel comfortable showing up in the world later. Everybody has a different way, and it expresses itself in a different way. So think about what's important to you. And it doesn't have to be based on your moon. Your moon might not be strong in your chart, and something else might speak to you more. This is just an idea that can get you thinking. That's something else you can notice. What are you noticing resonates and what doesn't resonate? Sometimes nothing resonates, but something resonates less, right? That doesn't apply to me at all. Great. If it doesn't resonate with you at all whatsoever, that's still a message, right? Then what's the opposite of that thing? You know for sure it's not this. You know for sure this isn't for you. So what exactly is for you? What is that showing you? Because it is a redirect, and it's giving you another clue as to understanding what path you want to walk, how you want to show up in the world. Instead of showing up with these masks that we've been forced to wear, how can we do it in a way that's true to ourselves and that supports other people being true to themselves? Because when you're true to yourself, you actually can show up more lovingly, more compassionately, and the world becomes a lot easier to live in. When people are true to themselves in a selfish way because they're empty and they're trying to fill their soul up with all these superficial things outside of them, and they're using those to shape their identity, it's a falsehood, it's superficial, and it's fake. It's not real. And that's why they keep doing it, because it's still not filling whatever is missing or hurting, this unmet need, that it's still going unacknowledged. And they're focusing only on the surface level stuff. You got to go deep. You have to know yourself in a deep way. You have to know what's missing. You have to know what stabilizes you, what makes you feel most alive, but in that calm being way where you could sit and listen to your own pulse, hear and feel your own heartbeat, and feel gratitude and contentment when you're doing that. What brings you to that space? Is it hard to answer that question? Well, that's the invitation. Explore what that means for you. Find that foundation for yourself. Find that base, that root of who you are, your core, so that you always have something tangible within yourself to hold on to when things get really difficult, because they will. There's going to be joyous moments, and there's going to be really scary, hard moments, and we all have to live them because we're here having a human experience for a reason. So, with all that being said, I hope the rest of your week helps you find a way to fall in love with yourself again, at least in the way that you needed nurturing, the way that you feel when you feel called home, and when home is within yourself and you're not running from something. What makes you feel safe within your own skin? And if you've never known that safeness, I'm sorry. I know what it's like to not know that safeness. But there is a way to imagine it. What would it feel like? Pretend. Fake it till you become it. Because just the pretending alone is still holding a magnitude of space for yourself. And don't focus on what you don't have, because lack is an easy thing to focus on. But focus on your breath. Focus on the chance, the opportunity you had when you woke up. It's another chance to try again. And may everything get a little easier even when it's hard. So, sending you all of my support throughout this week, and I hope you do find a cozy little nook inside of yourself that you can hide away in if you need to.